Try it right now. Go for the spot under your ribs that makes you shriek when anyone else finds it. Nothing happens. Same fingers, same skin, same spot. Why does the touch stop working the moment it comes from you? And here is how fragile that switch is. In 1999, researchers in London wired 16 people between two robots, so that moving the left hand made a foam pad stroke their own right palm by remote control. Then they slipped in a delay of 1/5 of a second. That was enough. Their own touch now felt almost as tickly as the robot doing it to them. Only 2 of the 16 noticed anything odd. The obvious explanation is the one Darwin gave in 1872. Surprise. You cannot surprise yourself. But the delayed strokes were predictable, and the robot's stroke, the most predictable touch of all, was the tickliest. So surprise fails. Maybe tickling needs another person? Also in 1999, 35 volunteers in California were tickled by what they believed was a machine. They laughed and squirmed just as much. So what is the brain actually checking? The London team ran one more version. No delay this time. Instead, the pad stroked the palm at a 90-degree angle to the way the left hand was moving. Tickliness came almost all the way back. The hand felt an identical stimulus every time. The only thing that changed was whether the touch matched the movement command that produced it, in time and in direction. Which brings a small bet. If you can name a system stranger than a brain that keeps a running forecast of your own fingertips, drop it in the comments, and I will go looking. If this one got you, the like button is right below. And unlike your ribs, it responds no matter whose hand it is. Subscribe for the next absurdity, because the strangest finding is still ahead. The answer is older than the question, and it was never about tickling. In 1950, Erich von Holst and Horst Mittelstadt in Germany and Roger Sperry in America were independently puzzling over flies and fish. When an animal moves its own eyes, the whole visual world sweeps across its retina. Yet nothing seems to lurch. Their solution was that every time the brain issues a movement command, it sends a copy to the sensory areas, which subtract the consequences they expect. What is left over is the part of the world you did not cause. For a fish, that is the difference between water rushing past because you are swimming and water moving because something is about to eat you. In 1971, a team at Oxford built the first tickling machine to test whether touch works the same way. In 1998, the London group put 6 people in a brain scanner. When the touch was self-produced, the sensory cortex responded less, and the cerebellum showed activity consistent with generating the prediction. Where exactly that prediction lives is still argued over. That it happens is not. You are not built to be untickleable. You are built to notice the world, and the price of that is dulling yourself. Dulling is not deleting. Complete cancellation would be a disaster since you would go numb every time you moved. So the filter is loose. Roughly 1/5 of a second and a few tens of degrees of tolerance, and your own touch slips through as foreign. And in some people, the filter barely works. Patients experiencing auditory hallucinations, or the sense that their actions are controlled from outside, showed no drop at all in how tickly their own touch felt. It tracked those symptoms, not the diagnosis. French researchers later found the same in healthy students with high scores for those traits. They were unusually good at tickling themselves. One hypothesis still being tested is that this same forecasting system is what lets you recognize your inner voice as your own. When it falters, your own thoughts may arrive as if from somewhere else. Now the honest caveat. These experiments used gentle strokes on a palm or a foot, rated on a scale. Nobody laughed. The kind of tickling that makes people helpless has never been directly tested this way, and one leading researcher lists it among the great unanswered questions. So, the reason you cannot tickle yourself is not a quirk. It is an ancient trick for telling self from world, older than hands, running so well that it dulls the one touch you can always predict. Your own.